Why do Trump supporters look at the same evidence and see a completely different reality? Sounds insane. But it's happening right in front of you. You show them court documents, direct quotes, clear video, all real, all verifiable. And instead of reconsidering, they double down. Not shaken, tighter. They get defensive. They dodge. They call the source fake. The more evidence you bring, the further they push you away. At that point, it's not even a debate anymore. So, what's actually going on? Are they ignoring the truth on purpose? Or is their brain processing reality differently? Simple question. Uncomfortable answer. It's not simple, but it is clear. It comes from a deep defense mechanism in the brain. Something way older than modern politics. In other words, this isn't about Trump. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what it is. But before we get there, we need to do one thing first. Cut out all the noise. No political opinions. No personal takes. Just behavioral science. When social psychologists studied intense loyalty to political figures, they found something unexpected. It wasn't policy, not taxes, not trade. The things people think matter are just surface level. According to large-scale data from the Journal of Social and Political Psychology, this behavior is driven by two core traits: right-wing authoritarianism and social dominance orientation. Those two are the real engine. And once you understand how they work, everything starts to click. Uncomfortably clear. Across studies, from the 2016 election to recent national surveys, researchers analyzed thousands of voters. And they found a pattern. Not random, repeated, consistent. The most loyal supporters scored extremely high in two things: authoritarian aggression and group-based dominance. This is the key. Miss this, and you miss everything. Social dominance isn't something people say out loud. It's a quiet belief, but it shapes everything. That society should have a clear hierarchy. Some groups on top, others below. And some people are meant to be above. Hard to accept, but to them, it feels like natural order. Now here's where things shift. When these people feel relative loss, like their group is losing cultural or economic status, everything changes. They don't look for a normal politician. They look for an enforcer, not a representative. Someone who imposes. Someone who restores order. And the data backs this up. The messages that hit them hardest aren't policy-based. It's promises to crush opponents, or framing the other side as an existential threat. The more extreme, the more appealing. Because the pull isn't policy. It's dominance. It's the comfort of a strong leader who promises to put things back in place. That's where the sense of safety comes from. But here's where it gets interesting. And also, where things start to bend. What happens when that leader does something that goes against their own moral values? This is the breaking point. This is where the brain flips a switch. From 2019 to 2022, researchers tracked loyal supporters across 3 real-world moments: before impeachment, after the vote, and after criminal charges. 3 moments. Same reaction. Logically, a major scandal should reduce support. That's what people expect. But psychology shows the opposite. Because of something called cognitive dissonance. And this part matters. When someone faces clear evidence that their chosen leader did something wrong, it creates real psychological pain, not mild discomfort. Pressure. And the brain hates that feeling. So it triggers an emergency response. Automatic. Almost unconscious. Researchers observed these reactions in real time. And the pattern was clear. When faced with serious accusations, more than half of highly loyal supporters immediately denied everything. No review, no checking. They called the evidence fake, no matter the source. The first reflex is to reject reality. Another group uses whataboutism. They instantly shift focus to the other side's flaws, not to argue, to self-soothe. And the most interesting group does something else. They change their own values. This is the part people miss. People who once said morality mattered suddenly claim it doesn't matter for leaders anymore. Policy is enough. They don't change the leader. They change the standard. They don't walk away. They bend reality to protect their identity. And at that point, logic doesn't matter. Looking at this kind of loyalty, you might think it comes from chaos, lack of intelligence, or poor emotional control. Sounds reasonable, but it's wrong. A major 2025 study found the opposite. When scientists analyzed the most loyal core group, about 10% of the population, who never compromise, they didn't find disorder. They found control. Extremely high levels of one big five trait: conscientiousness. Highly disciplined. Highly organized. Not chaotic. Structured. In their minds, the world is becoming more dangerous, more unpredictable, a growing sense of losing control. Another study calls this an optimal distinctiveness threat. Sounds abstract, but it feels real. They see themselves as part of a traditional American identity, an ideal. But as society changes quickly, they feel that identity fading. Not just change, loss. Their absolute loyalty isn't madness. It's a response, a highly disciplined psychological effort to hold on to a savior figure, someone who promises order and protects their identity. And this is the final answer. When you present facts, and they cling even harder, what's happening in their mind? It's a well-documented mechanism. Identity protective cognition. This is the turning point. This is where everything flips. At this stage, their brain is no longer processing your information as new data. It's not listen and think anymore, because their political choice is fused with their core identity. Any conflicting information is processed as a real threat, not disagreement, danger. The amygdala, the brain's threat detection center, activates just like it would if they were being attacked. It's a survival response. They're not intentionally ignoring your logic. Their brain is bypassing it, prioritizing identity protection instead. Automatic. Faster than thought. They hold on tighter because neurologically, admitting they're wrong feels like losing a part of themselves. Not just being wrong, but losing who they are. And this is only the surface. What's underneath hasn't even shown up yet.